What if we still lived under the rules of not being able to vote, or even being told where to sit, eat, or where to receive an education from? My name is Shayla Fontenot, and today I'm going to discuss the legacy of a most powerful, influential activist who paved the way for all African Americans, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Dr. King was born on January 15, 1929, in Atlanta, Georgia. He was the son of a Baptist minister. King saw a social problem, which he developed a dream. He also took this action and changed the United States as well as the world. He is today among the most well-known social activists in the world. Dr. King was an American Christian minister and activist who became the most visible spokesperson and leader of a civil rights movement from 1955 until his assassination in 1968. King was known for advancing civil rights through nonviolence and civil disobedience. He also led the 1955 Montgomery bus boycott, which was sparked by Rosa Parks. He helped organize the nonviolent 1963 protests in Alabama. He helped organize the nonviolent march on Washington, where he delivered his most famous I Have a Dream speech. King led the bus boycott in 1955. He also helped form the South Christian Leadership Conference in 1957, which was an organization that worked for civil rights. He was the leader of the entire civil rights movement in the 1960s that called for working out conflicts with kindness of love as opposed to hate and violence. King fought for an achievement mandatory equal voting rights in America for blacks and whites. He led lunch counter sit-ins where he and other black and whites demanded equal treatment in restaurants for people of all races. Jr.'s nonviolent, peaceful demonstrations proved to the world that action without violence can be effective and unsuccessful. Because of Martin Luther King Jr., it is no longer legal in the United States to segregate and discriminate based on skin color. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. is also known as the greatest civil rights activist in American history, which his actions and campaign led to equal and fair treatment of all African Americans. In the 11-year period between 1957 and 1968, King traveled over 6 million miles and has spoken more than 2,500 speeches on many stages. Wherever there is injustice, protests, and actions, and towards justice of African Americans in the United States, which proved very effective and ensured the future of equal treatment towards African Americans regardless of their skin color, racial, and religion. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. insistence method on using a nonviolent approach regardless of the brutality from the oppressors for a major factor in the respect and acknowledgement given to the civil rights movement in America during a time of unrest and unease in the country, proven nonviolent and peaceful demonstrations are more effective. King formed of organizations such as SCLLC, 1957 of his major civil rights activist efforts to end segregation in America. He also contributed greatly to the African American communities such as the boycott, sit-ins and marches in Birmingham Campaign March on Washington, D.C., which was abolish racial demonstration laws in many areas, include public transportation, employment, voting rights, and education in the United States of America. King's protests on behalf of civil rights were able to make genuine progress in American society, and his impact desired to country to come together regardless of skin color and ultimately recognizing major contributions to the American uniting as one nation due to the commitment to peace, nonviolence, and equality for everyone. Here are awards that was given to Martin Luther King Jr. Recognized by Time magazine as one of the most outstanding personalities of the year in 1957. The Spring Arm Medal from the NCAACP, 1957. Named American of the Decade by Laundry, Dry Cleaning, and Dye Workers International Union in 1963. the John F. Kennedy Award from Catholic Interracial Council of 1964 in Chicago. Dr. Martin Luther King also won a Nobel Peace Prize. Until this day, he was a success for a nonviolent movement